You're listening to the How to Talk to Girls podcast with your dating coach, Trip, from tripadvice.com. Do you struggle with getting girls to like you? Well, you're going to learn step-by-step how to talk to girls to create deep connections and meet the woman of your dreams. Here's your host, me, Trip. Hello and welcome to the How to Talk to Girls podcast. This is your host, Trip Kramer, from tripadvice.com. And if you are listening to this and you are following along live as I'm releasing podcast episodes, you've noticed that I've not put one out for a while. Fair not. I'm not taking a long break here, and I'm also not stopping the podcast. The podcast is going to be going. But what I wanted to do here is kind of give a little bit of time for people to be able to listen to those 10 episodes. That's right. If you don't already know, and you're not, if you haven't been keeping up with all the episodes I'm putting out on the How to Talk to Girls podcast, I just put out something called the Attraction Arsenals, kind of like my little New Year's gift to you. It was something that I wanted to put together that gave you kind of like every best tip from the moment you go and approach her all the way to the point where you guys are in a relationship and everything in between. So what I did was I created 10 short little baby episodes, and it was released all at once, kind of like a Netflix series, just like, boom, here's all of them, listen to all of them, and, do your best to implement the strategies and techniques that I gave you in there. So I highly recommend you check that out. The reviews have been solid on it. People have liked it, and they've been very popular here on iTunes. So I just wanted to kind of get people to, get into that with the new year and listen to those and, give you time to absorb it all. But now we're back, and we're going to be on a regular schedule here. So I am very, very excited to be talking about today's topic, which is all about kissing. And the reason why I'm putting this out is because I just put out a YouTube video called How to Kiss a Girl That You Like. And it made me think about another topic that I should probably talk about is, what is the number one sign that a girl wants to be kissed? How do you know she wants to be kissed? What is she doing? Well, there's a few signs, but there is one that is the biggest. We'll be talking about that today and just giving you a little bit of background on some information on kissing, because I know that this is one of the first things that guys end up doing to start to get physical with a girl. And yes, it is very necessary to start off kissing if you want to take it further. And it is so important because the kiss is like the ultimate sign that you're not in the friend zone. It really is. Like, for sure that you're out of the friend zone if a girl gives you a kiss and you guys are kissing. Now, of course, afterwards, she could put you in the friend zone because she could be like, well, actually, I'm not interested anymore. And hey, you could do the same thing, by the way. Okay, don't forget that. I don't want to just sit here and always try to, give you the information that says, okay, this is what girls think and what they're doing, and this is what they like. It's like, you got to remember that you are in this too. You don't have to like the girl. You don't have to go for the girl. You are in this too. It's not just like she's the one making the decision if you guys should be together or be intimate or be kissing. No, you are making that decision also. It just seems like it's up to her because you're the one who's making all the moves. But she's doing things on her end to be able to attract you. So don't worry, everyone's in this together and everyone's working on this attraction game. But just so you know, if you don't like a girl and if you like a girl and she doesn't kiss well, then move on. You don't have to stay with her. You could find someone else. You could date someone else. It's not, super important that it has to be this girl. So yes, you have the power of rejection. You have the power to say no. You have the power to move on. And I really want to give you that. I want to give you that power. I want to hand that over to you because it's really huge. I don't want you to be desperate here. And that's the whole thing behind everything at Trip Advice and the Trip community, is trying to get you to find a girl that you like so you don't have to settle for a girl that you don't. Now, I just want to really quick thank you guys because we have now gone super, super popular here on iTunes. And we're number 78. That's right. How to Talk to Girls is number 78 on the Self-Help Top 200. And I just want to just say thank you because you have been so awesome here being able to support this podcast by just listening. Honestly, so all of your listens and downloads make this thing grow, which makes more people find it. So when you're in the top 200, more people will find it. And it's huge. So again, thank you very much for being part of this community and listening and downloading. So thank you. But let's get into today's episode. That's right, today's episode. So what is the number one sign? What is the number one sign that a girl wants to be kissed? Here's the number one sign. This is what you want to look for when you are with a girl. If she is moving close to you in conversation and giving you really good eye contact, that means that she wants to be kissed. Now, got to be very careful here. She's moving close to you because people are in her way and you guys are having a conversation because you're in a busy place. Not so much. But her moving her body close to yours, talking close to you, and her looking you in the eye, which means she's paying attention to you, that right there is the number one sign. Okay, I'm telling you. So here's the best part is I'm going to teach you how to kind of hack that and make sure that you have that like sign. So you end up forcing that sign is that when you guys are talking, you guys are getting close. Now, of course, it's different situations. So I'm just generally speaking, we can dive in a minute to specific situations. But when you're getting close to her and she doesn't flinch, meaning you're getting closer to her, your body's getting closer to her. Maybe you're, talking to her because it's kind of loud, or maybe because, you're on a date and you're moving closer to her. If she doesn't move her head back, if she doesn't move her body back, then that means right there that she wants to be kissed. Okay? Now, I must say, there are a few things. There's kind of micro signs or micro things that need to happen before this. It's not just like this is the only thing. It's like you got to make sure if you're just meeting her for the very first time that she is actually interested. So you need some other little signs, meaning you can't do this within 2 minutes. Is it possible? Yes, but I'm talking like you should have been talking to her for at least 10 to 20 minutes and should have been flirting with her. And then you get that sign, and then you force that sign. Again, forcing the sign means you're moving closer to her, your face is closer to her face, and she's not flinching, and she's not moving back, and she's not trying to get away from you, and she's also giving you really good eye contact. So that's what you need to be thinking about here.
Hey man, sorry to interrupt. It's still me, Trip. I just wanted to let you in on something that most of my listeners don't know about. It's 10 years of my most effective techniques for meeting and seducing beautiful women condensed into this ultimate training. It's available at getherhooked.com. Don't worry if you're not attractive, rich, or don't have high status. This 10-hour online course gives you the whole system I've created for meeting and attracting the beautiful women in your town. It will help you with approach anxiety, knowing what to say to women on the street and online, how to flirt, my exact texting sequence for getting her to respond, which you can just copy and paste, and how to either get a girlfriend or have multiple one-night stands. This is everything you need to know, and it's all in this one program. Get it now at getherhooked.com. Again, that's getherhooked.com.
Now, here's the thing. When you're on a date, this gets a lot easier. Right? Because you already know she's pre-interested because she's on a date with you. She agreed to go on a date with you. She agreed to meet up with you. And so because of that, she's already got pre-interest. So all you got to do is try to go for the kiss by the end of the date. There's almost no reason why you shouldn't go for the kiss at the end of the date. The only reason would be is that she's trying to go home. She's trying to get back sooner than expected. You might kind of feel like, oh, I thought the date was going really well. And then, all of a sudden she wants to go home, but we've only been hanging out for like 45 minutes, it seems. Then maybe, you can kind of get those signs that she's not interested. She wants to go home. She's not very engaged in conversation. But normally, a first date should technically go well. The only exception is if you guys meet from online, because from online, her interest is not as big as it is if you met her in person, because online she doesn't really know you that well. She knows a profile picture, maybe a little bit of messaging back and forth, possibly a phone call, but she's not super attracted yet. A girl is way more attracted to you when you meet her in person, like a cold approach, like meeting her at a bar or a club or on the sidewalk or a grocery store. She's way more attracted to you at that point when you guys are on the first date versus when you meet her online. So you have more of an opportunity to go for the kiss a little bit sooner in the interaction on the first date after meeting her in person than you do when you are doing it from an online date. There needs to be more attraction built in person. Of course, if you want to learn how to do that, you can get my program Get Her Hooked at getherhooked.com, or you can just listen to all these podcasts and videos on my YouTube channel that teach you how to do that. But right now, we're not focusing on building attraction as much as we are just talking about this idea of going for the kiss and looking for that sign. So you got to know that, again, the biggest sign here is that she is moving closer to you. Really, I always say that one of the biggest signs of attraction in general that a girl likes you is that she's just paying attention to you. She's not going anywhere. She's not talking to her friend. She's not bored on her phone. She's paying attention to you. And that's intuitive there. I shouldn't have to tell you what it looks like for a person to pay attention to you, right? She's giving you eye contact. She's talking to you. She's engaged in conversation. She's asking questions. But then when there's more sexual interest and when she wants you to kiss her, that means that her body is doing most of the talking. She's closer to you. Her eyes are looking at you. She's kind of like smiling a little bit. Maybe she's fidgeting with her hair, or she's playing with something in front of her because she's a little nervous. People who have a little bit of nervous tics end up kind of fidgeting a lot, right? So all these signs of attraction are there, and then she's just next to you and close to you. And here's what I want you to do. I want you to wait for the silence, and you're going to make a silence. You're going to be very quiet. In the middle of conversation, when you're close to her, when you're next to her, you're just going to stop talking. And then she's going to stop talking. And then you're just going to go for the kiss. It's really that simple. The only barrier between you and the kiss is really your mind. It's your mind that really stops you. A lot of people don't do it because they're afraid of rejection. Well, here's the thing. You're probably going to get rejected anyways if you don't break the touch barrier, because when you don't break the touch barrier, it doesn't give her an opportunity to see you as a sexual being. Instead, it gives her the opportunity to just put you in the friend zone, because friends hang out and don't touch each other. Friends hang out and they don't kiss each other. Friends hang out and there's no tension between each other. And that's not what we want here. We don't want a friendship. We want something more. So you need to build that tension and then break the tension with a kiss. Okay, so that was a short but sweet episode, but we're just getting back into things here. We're just getting rolling. Don't forget to check out the Attraction Arsenal, my free little series that I put out here on the podcast. It's the previous 10 episodes from this episode. So listen to those. Get familiar with what attraction means and how to be able to build it with girls that you meet. That's why I created that for you. It's my New Year's gift. Go check that out. Stay tuned for more episodes coming out every single week of the How to Talk to Girls podcast. And if you'd be so kind, leave a review. The more reviews you leave, the more you spread this podcast out to guys who need it. Help your fellow man. And you are the man. I'll talk to you on the next episode.